Hey everyone, so today I wanted to talk about this forum post regarding Final Fantasy XIV. It was found in the Blizzard official forums. It's titled, The Lie About Final Fantasy XIV. Essentially, the post is saying that Final Fantasy XIV is less casual than World of Warcraft. While this very well could be a troll post, some of the points brought up were things I thought about before, albeit in a very different context. And because of that, I thought it would be fun to discuss. Now, let me start off by saying that I have absolutely no ill will towards this poster. You know, everyone is entitled to their opinions. I'm just sharing mine. So, without further ado, let's read this post and talk about it. So, the poster says, Final Fantasy XIV is not more casual friendly than WoW. It is far less friendly, in fact. I played Final Fantasy XIV quite a lot, my bad, till mid of the Stormblood expansion. Then I had my what moment and quit, never to go return. Why? I had enough. Enough of having to do dungeons during main quest. Enough of having to do trials, 8 people boss fights, often quite hard and unforgiving, during main quest. Even more, enough of having to do solo scenarios during main quest, which can be hard and annoying, and you can't ever out-gear because you are always scaled down. Alright, so let's stop there for now and look at some of the points brought up. So the poster is painting a picture that Final Fantasy XIV is less casual than WoW, at least when it comes to the leveling. And maybe there is some truth there. In Final Fantasy XIV, you do need to run dungeons and trials in order to progress in the main scenario quest. In World of Warcraft, you can literally level start to finish without really ever having to join a party, or even talk to another player. Depending on what you like, that could very well be a selling point. The other thing that you should take into account is just how long it takes to reach the new content in these games. In World of Warcraft, it doesn't take very long at all. The leveling process is very fast-paced. You can get into the new content, if that is your focus, in around 30 hours or so. In Final Fantasy XIV, because new players have to clear A Realm Reborn, Heavensward, Stormblood, and Shadowbringers just to get into the newest content, that can be quite a time commitment. Each expansion can easily take 60 plus hours to clear, and that is if you are just laser focused on finishing the MSQ. I don't think that's a bad thing, but it does mean that it takes much more of a commitment to reach the newest content. Like I said before, depending on what you are looking for in your MMO, one of these very well may appeal more than the other. With all that being said, Final Fantasy XIV is still very casual friendly. I have friends and family that play this game in a very casual way, and they have been able to progress just fine. The poster also mentions the difficulty of some of the content, but difficulty is very subjective, and as an experienced raider, I don't feel like I'd be a very good gauge of just how hard this content hits. Now, I will say that my friends that play, whom, as I said before, are much more casual than I am, well, they are clearing the content just fine. Now, the funny thing about the reasons the poster gave for quitting Final Fantasy XIV, I had these exact same thoughts, but I came at it from a very different direction. I thought it was amazing game design to make Final Fantasy XIV players need to run dungeons and raids to progress the story. I mean, an MMO is meant to be played with others, and the fact that Final Fantasy XIV forces you to do so, well, I think this is a good thing. I know that many new players to the genre, they have trepidation about playing with others, but Final Fantasy XIV pulls that band-aid off for you. So, it boils down to the question, what was the poster's expectation here? No dungeons, no raids, no solo duties, just the story? That would be a visual novel type game, kind of like Ace Attorney, which is fine. I actually very much enjoy those types of games. But Final Fantasy XIV has never been advertised as that kind of game. Anyways, the post continues with, could you just let me do the darn main quest already, Yoshi? So, farewell Final Fantasy XIV, play your lousy scenarios yourself. Now, let's compare notes with Shadowlands. After less than 20 hours of play, I have completed the main quest and the 9.11. I am 209 item level and 74 renown, have done a whopping 2 dungeons on normal, have my legendary, have almost all these so-called feared conduits at 200, can solo 3 people group quests, need to go on? And that was the end of this post. The "can we just do the main quest already" line, it really leaves me baffled. This is an MMORPG. In RPGs, you tend to have to fight your way through dungeons and defeat bosses, so I'm not sure what the issue is. In World of Warcraft, you still have to do a lot of quests, many of which require killing enemies and boss-type mobs. Is it really all that different? I guess if you really don't want to play with others, then maybe that can be a real sticking point. The funny thing is, the most common complaint you hear about Final Fantasy XIV is that there is too much story, not enough gameplay. I guess that just goes to show that everyone goes into games with very different expectations. Personally, I love that Final Fantasy XIV has such an emphasis on the story, but I also love raiding, so this game, well, it scratches both of those itches. Also, once you do reach endgame in WoW, the big hook is dungeons, raids, and PvP. It really is a raid or die type of game. If you don't like running dungeons, raiding, or PvP, I think WoW's endgame could feel pretty lackluster. You know, if anything, I believe that WoW tells a pretty big lie here. The game lulls you into this illusion of how it is played while leveling, and then you reach endgame only to have that illusion shattered. The endgame is a very different experience than what leveling would have you believe. So, I had this thought. I would actually say that when it comes to the story, Final Fantasy XIV is far more casual in the way that it presents, because you get it all in the game. It's laid out for you. There's no extra effort on your part to understand what's going on. Contrast that with World of Warcraft, where the story is, well, it can be very hard to follow. You better be ready to hit WoW Wiki and YouTube videos if you want a good understanding of what is going on. To understand the story in World of Warcraft, you got to be pretty hardcore. At the end of the day, outside of the raiding scene, both games can be played pretty casually. I think the big difference presents itself when you look at raiding at a high level. World of Warcraft requires a lot more time investment there, mainly due to all the chores involved and RNG elements. Final Fantasy XIV, you can just basically hop right into the raids. Anyways, that is all for today. Thank you so much for watching. Please consider liking, commenting, and subscribing. And as always, have a great day.